GB. Go GB. Welcome to Kosice, Slovakia on this Friday night. The referees for this game are Linus Oland from Sweden and Stephen Renault from the United States. It is Finland against Great Britain. Finland, coached by Jukka Jalonen, is 3-1 in the tournament. The loss came in overtime against the United States, so the Finns have 10 points in the tournament. They opened with wins against Canada and Slovakia. Great Britain is 0-4, lost 6-3 to the United States. A loss that was actually something of a boost to Peter Russell's team. It was 1-1 in the second period. They hung in there, but wound up suffering their 4th consecutive loss.
Finns keep chugging away. It doesn't really particularly matter that they don't have the high end of their skilled part of their lineup. They play this disciplined, grind you away system, and they're in good shape again. They're not an overwhelming team outside of Capo Caco so far, but they just kind of grind it away and turn you to dust by the time the game's over.
28-year-old Jussi Okanora gets the starting goal for the Finns, the 3rd different goaltender to play for them in this tournament. And Ben Bounds goes for Great Britain. He has been in goal for all 4 losses, has been pulled twice.
He's been a backboard in this tournament, 165 shots.
Looking more and more like Great Britain will face off against France with a relegation on the line on Monday night. France lost earlier today to Slovakia 6-3. Last time Great Britain played in the top division of the World Championship was 1994. They went 0-6, outscored 49-9. Here, 26-4, 0-4 start. Antila, the Finnish captain, plays it down to Raila. At the point is letting in a hard shot. And Bounds makes the save. Bounds was the hero for Great Britain in promotion last year from Division 1A, was terrific in that tournament. A save percentage of .919.
The struggle to get from Division 1A to here is when teams drop, they don't just automatically pop back up. Outshot 4 of the 5 games, and behind Bounds' outstanding goaltending, they worked their way back in. And
key for them was a late goal, 15 seconds to go against Hungary, that got them to overtime. That point clinched a promotion spot for them. Now a chance for Raila, puts that high and wide.
Gord, you mentioned the 6-3 loss to the United States, and of the things that were super valuable for Great Britain in that is that they scored 3 goals. They had only had 1 in the previous 3 games. They'd been outscored 17-0 in their 2 previous games. And it's really about 1 game, as you mentioned, for them, but now you have a little belief that you can at least get the puck to the net. You can find a way to score. It'll be hard to generate much against the Finns tonight.
Russell, talking to us the other night, was saying that really important that they follow that up with a good performance. They played very poorly, they felt, against Denmark in a 9-0 loss. That was one that really disappointed them. Hammond, rink wide to Robert Dowd. Dowd back through the middle. And the pass across to Mike Hammond, feeds it back, and Hammond, that pass for Dowd got broken up by Niko Mikkola.
Nice rush up the ice, good puck movement, and Mikkola, if he's not sharp here, he's beaten. This puck is right on the tape, but he's back to get his stick down and deflect it up into the netting to the left of Okanura.
Hammond leads the way for Great Britain with a couple of goals in the tournament. Now Richardson, a hard shot, that goes wide. Jussi Okanura plays in the Finnish league, spent a couple of years with the University of Denver, and also 3 years in the American Hockey League before going back to Finland. The Finns in the last 2 World Championships and last year's Olympics have had 9 different goaltenders on the roster. And that pass off a stick, up and out of play.
It's what we talked about at the start of the game. They don't have the high end of their lineup. They've got 20 other guys, and Jukka Jalonen pieces them together, and they play a real tight style of play. They get goaltenders that have done the job for them, and they just continue to be successful. They're really an admirable country to think about just on a hockey standpoint. Just about 5.3 million people in the country, and they've punched above their weight
Ever.
Yeah, forever. Yeah, I can't even. I was going to try and come up with a time frame. I remember when I was playing, and you'd play them, and it would just be an absolute war. Like they never, ever, ever quit, even when they were outmanned. They were chippy back in the day. Oh.
O'Connor slides out ahead for Davies. Ben Davies scored against the United States, a pretty goal, and he was able to admire on the scoreboard. Antila plays that around. And waiting for it is Perlini. Brett Perlini knocked that down, and back for Dallas Earhart, a former Brandon Wheat King. Also played for Moose Jaw and Prince George in the Western League. In comes Perlini, walks it in, shoots, and the save is made by Okanora.
A couple rush chances for Great Britain here. This is Perlini, who had 15 goals in this past season. He can shoot the puck, although he doesn't get much on this. It dives between the feet of Ottama. Made the save a little more difficult. Perlini scored in the last game against the United States as well.
Now brought up by Raiola. Tony Raiola along with Oyamaki. The pass across to Oyamaki, feeds it back for the trailer, and Lettman couldn't get a shot away. Mosey up ahead, Shields. And Shields finds Billingsley. A large contingent of British fans is here in Kosice. They've had a ball this week. As Perlini takes it free.
Very excited about the €1 pints.
The Finns too have enjoyed the prices here. Here's Richardson with it. Now swinging back is Jonathan Phillips.
Look at the Finns. They got 5 guys back in the neutral zone.
And no disrespect, but they're playing Great Britain.
Like, get moving. I know their system doesn't change, but man, don't play like this forever.
Haven't scored more than 4 in a game. Haven't allowed more than 3. Hammond with it. Slides the puck back to David Phillips. He spent a couple years in North America, playing primarily with Rockford in the America with the Chicago farm team. Right wide pass goes to Robert Dowd. In comes Dowd. A centering pass for Hammond is picked off and brought back the other way by Christian Kusala. Savanainen drops it back, and Jukka Harju's shot rebound loose in front. Savanainen tapped that wide. Here's Dowd back with it. Hammond tapping for it. In comes Dowd. Dowd swings in, peels back as Great Britain gets fresh players on the ice. Banked around, Hammond a backhand shot at the side of the net. Liam Kirk with it now. Kirk digs it free. Now it's picked up and moved ahead by Lindboom. Five gone here in a scoreless first period. Also underway at this hour, the Czech Republic taking on Italy, as that play is called, at the finish line.
Mike Hammond's got a couple of goals in the tournament. He has a dangerous chance here. He takes the puck from below the goal line. There was a little bit of room up top by the ear of Jussi Okanura in goal. He just hooks this a little bit. Pretty strong play from below the goal line for Hammond on the backhand.
Italy's off to a tough start against the Czech Republic. They got called for too many men, 1 minute and 50 seconds in.
There haven't been many high points for them in this tournament.
Looks as though it'll be Italy, Austria. That's also on Monday. That'll decide who gets relegated on that side. One team from each group goes down. Next year, Kazakhstan and Belarus are promoted for the tournament in Switzerland. Antila moves ahead. penalty coming. Turbina was knocked down. O'Connor's going to go off, and Finland will get the game's first power play.
The Finns have 3 power play goals in the tournament. This is called a rough. As the player is close to the boards, O'Connor shoves him in, and Great Britain's given up 8 power play goals in the last 3 games. Not a way that they want to play. Shorthanded is not going to be a good formula for an underdog team.
3 different goal scorers and Finns on the power play. Lettinen hooked that high and wide. Losing the side of the goal. Pessonen trying to dig it free. Ilomäki on it. Bounds is still down and finally holds that loose puck.
The official standing right there, like, I can see it. It's right there, and so they let them flail away at the puck. Pessonen, one of the 2 veterans that plays alongside Capo Kakko. He played 2 years in the American Hockey League in Albany. He deflects this up high over the net. He scored 29 goals in the 2 seasons before coming back to the Swiss League, where he's played the last 5 years.
Ilomäki wins that face-off back. Mosey can't clear it down. Here's Lettinen on it. Plays it down to Ilomäki. Lettinen across for Raila. That long shot tipped wide by Savanainen. Ilomäki. Savanainen back for Lettinen. Winds and shoots, and Bounds knocked that away. Bounce right back in front. Ilomäki couldn't get a shot away. Savanainen. Pokes that back to Lettinen, to Raila. Raila in, shoots off the leg of Richardson and wide. Richardson was a shot blocking machine the other night against the United States. And that clearing attempt went off a player on the British bench, and the face-off will stay inside.
He took a couple that really hurt, and he's still in there grinding away. They're not fearful at all. They block a lot. The puck's in their zone a lot. They block a lot.
Off the face-off, in comes Kakko. Capo Kakko drops that back to Jokiharju to Kakko. Capo Kakko feeds it back to Jokiharju to Kaski. All over Kaski, in, shoots. That's blocked as well. Bedford's got in the way of that. That hurt him. Koski works it and shoots. That bounces down to Bounds, still loose in front. Bounds trying to dive for it, can't find it. Makes a spinning save. Ilomäki can't get a shot away. And Mosey clears it down. That deflected. The faceoff will stay in the British zone with 19 seconds to go in the power play.
Gordon, I've always wanted to have a look at the heart monitor on a goalie in a scramble. Like, what do you think his heart's starting to do here? As he's spinning around, he can't find it. He doesn't have control of it. The play's still alive. I'm not so sure that's in any goaltending manual, but Bounds ends up keeping it in front of the goal line, and the game stays scoreless.
Jokiharju knocks it down. Takes the return pass, feeds it down to Kakko. Capo Kakko loose behind the British goal, feeds it back. Kaski a shot, he powdered that wide. And the puck comes out. 2 shots on goal for the Finns on that power play. There's still no score.
Good kill for Great Britain. Even though they don't get the puck down the ice much, they blocked about 3 or 4 shots and kept the puck away from the middle for the most part.
One concern you might have about this Finnish team, Ray, we saw the same thing last year. They went 5-1-1 in the group stage, playing like this. They got it against Switzerland in the quarterfinals, fell behind early and didn't have enough offense to get back in the game.
Right, there's not another gear for them. I mean, they, as we touched on a couple of times already, they play the same way no matter who they're playing against. But when they're in group play, it's fine. When the teams kick up a notch, when they get into the quarterfinals and beyond, they might not have that other gear, and it's generally at the offensive end.
Mikkola almost had it stolen away as Dowd was in on him. And Mikkola back with it. Being harassed by Dowd. Goes ahead to Vinen. And David Phillips knocks that free. O'Connor bangs that ahead. It's knocked down. A centering pass. Angela tipped that just wide. Now Phillips back with it. Plays it back to Ben O'Connor to Hammond. He got forced there by two Finnish players. Savanainen with it now. Savanainen around Hammond, who fell. Plays it back to Jokiharju. Shoots. It's off a leg and wide as that was blocked in front by Luostarinen. Jokiharju works in and fires. That's blocked as well. Peter Russell was really proud of his group the other night against the United States for the grit they showed. As Luostarinen moves in, and that quick shot by Savanainen stopped by Bounds, who's still down. And the puck finally frozen at the side of the British goal. And now a Finnish player knocked flying. 10:15 to go. There's still no score here in the first. Shots are 6-1 Finland. Still no score here in the opening period. Gord Miller, Ray Ferraro, our TSN crew here in Košice, Slovakia, the World Hockey Championship. Action also going on in Bratislava tonight. The Czech Republic has an early 1-0 lead on Italy. Oyemaki picks off that pass, drops it off to Raila. Centering pass, just missed Ilimaki. Koivisto. Got that shot blocked. Billingsley looks ahead for Perlini. Now Perlini tries to knock it down. It's held to the line by Lake. Works it in deep. And finds Shields. Colin Shields, a 39-year-old veteran of this team, in his 17th year with the British national team. In comes Oyemaki, shoots him his short side. Now Lehtinen long shot. The rebound skipped away from Raila. Perlini has it back. Up ahead for Lake. That was broken up by Otama. And Perlini tries to kick that back, but it's picked off by Manninen. Sakari Manninen. Back for Lehtinen. Kakko comes late off the Finnish bench. Manninen tried to drop it back to him. That pass was broken up. Now Manninen back with it. Throws it back. In comes Kakko. Shoots! And the save is made by Bounds. 9:07 remains. Still no score in the first. Back here in Košice, Finland against Great Britain. British fans were excited to had some songs prepared for the Finns along the lines of "We have a gold medal at the Olympics and you don't." Great Britain won it back in 1936. 13 players on that roster. 9 were born in Canada. 11 grew up there. Canada actually filed a protest about that roster prior to the Olympics. 2 British players were disqualified, but they still went on to win the gold medal. is comprised primarily of officers and Canadians who are working overseas. Oh, good, the pilots are here. Again, if you want to go to a game as a Finnish fan, you'll need sunglasses, some sort of costume, usually a wig. We now know why they wear the sunglasses. A lot of them have eyes like a poisoned bass around this stage of the tournament.
No matter what the time of the day is, it's too bright for some of the guys.
Quick chance there. Tervainen turned away. Kaski's shot, that deflects high and wide.
Shots are 9-1 for Finland here, and outside of a couple of rush chances, Jussi Okonora hasn't had much action down in the Finnish goal. There is Oliver Kaski, who has signed with the Detroit Red Wings. He'll head to North America next year.
Played 2 years at Western Michigan University. The former Canadian national team head coach Andy Murray.
23-year-old, he's a pretty mobile guy, and
you see more and more of that. You see players signed out of this tournament. As we saw, perhaps the best example, Artemi Panarin back in 2015 out of the World Championship in Prague.
What I remember of that was the first time we had seen Panarin, and he was playing on the top of the left face-off circle on the power play, and then Ovechkin came later in the tournament, and Ovechkin went to the left circle, of course, his spot, but Panarin was standing there too, and they looked like they were lining up for a dance, like neither of them was going to move from that spot, and I kind of like this guy.
Kiviranta swings it in deep. Richardson picks it off now for Britain. Now that's picked off as it's given up by Shields. Antela with a chance and bounds makes the stop. Shields throws another one away. And Kiviranta picks it up. Back at the point to Lindbom. His shot deflected down, and now Lee with it. And Steve Lee brings it out. Tervainen drops after the trailer. Savanainen fan in that shot. The rest of it was blocked by Lee. Antela feeds it back. Tervainen a drive. Rebound in front. Savanainen whistled that wide. Savanainen throws it rink wide. Koivisto. The centering pass from Kusel was knocked away. Koivisto to Savanainen. Back to Koivisto. Gets around Shields. Feeds it back. Savanainen's shot. That's blocked again. And Louis Lorinen had his shot blocked by Lee.
That puck goes to the slot, and Great Britain has 4 guys about 3 feet away from their own goal crease. It is just jammed in front of the net.
Kusela tied up by Richardson. Picked free by Savanainen. Savanainen feeds that back. It's held. Hakanpää got a shot away. That was blocked. And Shields finally plays it out and goes off. Or can he? He finally does get off.
They've blocked 15 shots in this period. Has to be.
Etheridge around for O'Connor. And O'Connor turns out over Lamaki for Ryala. That's knocked away. The reason they're blocking so many shots is they're giving so many pucks away in their own zone.
You do block shots when you don't have the puck. That's one thing when I'm always amazed at, Gord, that people marvel at a player's block shot total. Well, that means they never have the puck when he's on the ice. I like a guy that doesn't block any shots because he's making lots of breakout passes.
Lettinen for Ryala. He hammered that wide. Ultima feeds it back in. Ryala, poke check there. And it's moved out by Lakowitz. For Liam Kirk of the Peterborough Petes. Kirk had a terrific year with Peterborough. 19-year-old scored 26 goals for the Petes in his first year in North America. Winds his way through center ice. In comes Kirk with it. Works back in. Help coming off the bench. Kirk throws it back in the corner. Billingsley centers it. There's Davies a chance. It rolled off his stick. Lettinen. Lead pass for Kakko. That just missed. Billingsley across the line. Poke check by Pessonen. Crisscrossing there with Kakko. The lead pass to Capo Kakko. Here he comes on Richardson. Kakko in a backhand shot at the side of the net. Pessonen swings back for Kaski to Kakko. to Mannanen. Kako parked in front. Mannanen can't get the puck to him. Billingsley now with it. And Mannanen took that away. Mannanen for Kako. Bouncing puck is kicked free by Davies. Inside 5 to go here in a still scoreless first period. Extend the game. You keep talking about it, Ray, year after year. Extend the game when you're the underdog.
It's your only chance. Just keep the game as close as you can, as long as you can. But this feels like an old boxing match where they just keep going to the body, and eventually you weaken. 11-1 are the shots and goal here.
Farmer chips it out for down. Tervainen knocked that away. And it's picked up by Lindboom. Up ahead for Jokiharju. In, shoots. That goes high and wide. Tervainen had it knocked away by Dowd. And Jokiharju took that away. Jokiharju, a member of Finland's gold medal winning team at the World Junior Championship in January. He and Kako were on that team. Jokiharju. Lead pass knocked away by O'Connor. Savanainen gains a line and plays that in. Earhart plays it back down. This will be an icing call against Great Britain. 3:32 to go in the period.
Veli-Matti Savanainen had a couple of chances. He came off the bench, fanned on the puck, and then the second one will hit him. Now he's got the rebound, and he flings that one wide as well. Savanainen does a good job for them. He's a 33-year-old now, plays in Kunlun in China in the KHL, and he's always been a really effective player for the Finns in international play. They use him on the power play. He kills some penalties for them.
Kunlun coached by your old NHL coach, Kurt Fraser.
He's learning some words there.
Or teaching them some.
Yes.
Losterinen works in, centers it, and it just missed Kusala. Kusala drops it back to Savanainen, centers it. And now Earhart picks up the rolling puck. Visto back for Hakanpää. Under 3 to go in the opening period. Iilamäki had it broken up by Lakowitz. That sharp angle shot launched towards the goal. That kind of handcuffed Okinora. Good chance there for Bedridge. Now back come the Finns. Otimo with a backhand shot on the side of the net. Otimo. Back at the point for Lettman. Winds and shoots. That deflects wide. That was blocked by Mosey. Raila. Drops it back to Oyemaki. Oyemaki centering passes off his skate. Raila. Back for Lettinen. That's off the foot of Bedridge. Up and out of play. 2:06 to go here in the first period. Back at Steel Arena in Kosice. 2:06 to go here in the first period. Still no score. Shots are 11-2 in favor of the Finns. Bedridge had a decent chance a moment ago that almost fell in the lap of Jonathan Phillips. Now Great Britain ices the puck again.
You get to this point of the period, now you just start thinking about surviving for 2 more minutes if Great Britain can chew off 20 minutes of this game.
Here's the Bedridge chance.
There's a goalie that hasn't had much to do, just the second shot of the period.
Phillips is on the bench saying he was jamming away at it. Pessinen back for Lehtinen, shoots, bounds to stop, rebound, loose in front, bounce back, another save, another rebound, they bang away, bounces half in the net, but the puck is not.
That's Pessinen, Kapanen, or Kakko and Manninen buzzing around the net again. It's going to be Manninen who wins the draw and gets to the net. This puck will bounce around, and he's got the chance right here, turned aside by Bounds, and more pressure, more scramble, and Bounds keeps it out again.
He makes those luge saves. Ankles together, elbows tucked in, lying on his back. That shot blocked by O'Connor. Rink wide pass for Shields to Lake. In comes Lake peeling back. Looks for Perlini, chips that right on. The save made by Okanora. Shields flips it back around. Here's Phillips with it. Back to Shields. Manning into the open wing. Lake poked that ahead. Now Perlini comes in. And Lehtinen gathers up the loose puck. Otama waits for the Finns to complete a change. And now slides it ahead. Brought in by Kiviranta. Whistled that wide. Here's Antila. Final minute now of the period. Tervainen plays that back. The shot by Mikkola was blocked. Rebound loose in front. Dowd knocked that away from Kiviranta. Hammond with it now. And Hammond lifts that high in the air, trying to find Dowd. Bounces in behind Kasky. Wheeling back in the corner is Hammond. And that pass broken up by Mikkola. Mikkola in across the line now for the Finns. Moves around Mosey. And Dowd slaps that down the ice. A penalty coming now. Going to be a holding call against Great Britain's Evan Mosey with 20 seconds to go in the period.
Mikkola makes a nice rush up the ice, and you can see that Mosey's got a fistful of his jersey, and if that's not enough, eventually he wraps his right arm around him. The Great Britain killed off the first Finnish power play. Now they'll have to do it here in the last 20 seconds of period one.
A bit of a break that it comes so late. You got to kill off 20 seconds here, then you start at center ice in the next period. There was a suggestion at one point with the NHL that if you open the period in the power play, the face-off should be in the offensive zone.
As a power play guy, I don't have a problem with that at all. Get it in there, get it set up.
Big face-off win by Davies, but again, Britain can't clear it out. Richardson gets a second try, and this time sends it down. Blackwood chips out of the British bench. 4.9 seconds left in the period.
So while they just had 2 shots in the period, a successful first period for Great Britain, they keep the game scoreless. They kill 1 penalty off and shorten the game.
And so Finland will have 1 minute and 40 seconds of power play time to carry into the second period, but there is no score after 1.
Italy is 1-0. go, boys. My bad.
All right, Del. Here. Hey, boys. Second right, Tom. Good boy. Big boy. boys. Here we go, boys. Let's go. Hey, so that you got a big man with sugar bomb. Oh man, I didn't even catch it. I don't even. Did it go on next or not? Get me out there. It's fucking boiling. Oh, I've never been on this so glad we came out so fucking early. Yeah, are you ready now? Yeah, we're going. Somebody hit me out of the box. I like goals. Let's kill this, man. Eh? Let's kill this.
Okanora has not been tested much in this game thus far, facing just 2 shots, while Ben Bounds has been his usual busy self, stopping all 12 shots he faced. Evan Mosey has 1 minute and 40 seconds to serve on his holding penalty as the Finns begin the second period on the power play.
12 shots against. They must have blocked 15 in that first period. And
Russell, the British coach, diagramming things up. Got a call from Scotty Bowman the other day. Bowman's got roots in Scotland. Russell is from. Big thrill for Russell to hear from the NHL coaching legend. Don't know if he got many words in edgewise in the conversation, but
he wouldn't have it wouldn't have mattered.
Lehtinen ahead to Raila. In comes Raila. Shoot, scores! Raila, a missile over the shoulder of Bounds, and the power play goal makes it 1-0.
Raila's a pretty skilled player. He had 27 goals this year in the Swiss League. A 4th-round pick of the Edmonton Oilers in 2009. He takes a breakout pass inside of his zone. He's got all kinds of room to move in. As Richardson had backed way off the line, the whole neutral zone is a free skate zone. The shot goes by Richardson and up into the top right-hand corner. And the Finns have the game's first goal on the power play. It's their 4th power play goal of this tournament.
From 4 different goal scorers, that comes 24 seconds into the period, so no problem for the Finns to start the period in the power play. And now here's Pessonen. Across to Manninen. It's knocked down by Dowd. Dowd works it back across, and that quick shot taken there by Robert Farmer is knocked away by Okanora. It was Farmer who scored the tying goal for Britain late against Hungary in Division 1A last year that got them the point they needed for promotion. Pessinen's long pass missed, and icing called against the Finns.
Raila's had a good tournament. He had 4 assists coming into today, and this is first goal. A slick little wrist shot up over the right shoulder of Bounds. And
mentioned that Raila was a draft pick of Edmonton, played 1 year in the Western Hockey League for Brandon, scored 26 times. 26 goals for Brandon. That was a month for you.
I don't know if it was a month, but you're not probably wrong.
Go and shoot. That's knocked away by Bounds.
Oh, there were some big years in Brandon. Billy Derlago had 96 at one time.
There's Mosey with a quick shot. Rebound loose in front for Perlini. And Perlini tries to dig it free. The British haven't had many chances. They've had 2 good ones, though. And now a penalty coming again to Britain. Pessinen up for Luostarinen. Trying to drop that back for Savanainen. And Britain finally touches up. And they'll be shorthanded again. 1:42 into this period. And it'll be Colin Shields who goes off.
Yeah, the trip as he goes in and gets on the wrong side of Harry Pessinen, and as he swoops through, gonna make it tight under the collar for Peter Russell as they're shorthanded a 3rd time.
You know, we saw this in a game against Denmark. One of the problems was 2 early penalties. Give them a 5-on-3 goal, then the roof caved in.
And you just can't get it back. You're not gonna get enough chances. And I mean, to play here at this level to get a win, they've got to play an almost perfect game. 3 minors, 22 minutes in is not that.
Lehtinen shoots, that deflected bounce made to stop and pounces on the rebound.
I don't know that he saw this. He was standing up looking for the puck, and the quick wrist shot from the point from Lehtinen, who now has 4 assists in the tournament, is deflected out front by Savanainen. Look at Bounds, he's looking for it, and it hits him right in the midsection and drops straight down.
Savanainen, face off, not done fairly. Finns won gold in this building the last time the World Championship was played in Slovakia in 2011. Lehtinen, long shot, Bounds knocked that away. Yuki Jalonen, the coach of that team, is back with the Finns now. Now played back. Lehtinen fires, knocked away by Bounds. Pessinen drops that back to Lemacki. Lehtinen a drive, Bounds save, rebound loose, and Savanainen couldn't tap that home. David Phillips on his backhand plays it off a stanchion, and play is called with 1:13 to go in the power play for Finland.
Great Britain hangs on for another 45 seconds here. So much of the play has been in their defensive zone. The Finns have had a pile of chances, haven't gotten the puck through. There's Capo Caco, who has had just an amazing start to this tournament with 6 goals, picked up his first assist in the game yesterday.
Kaski feeds it across to Mannanen, back to Kaski. There's a drive by Joka Harju, that was blocked. Kako has it back, his centering pass goes off a skate and back out.
Richardson's going to try and get off the ice again here. He's been beat up with a couple of blocks.
Mannanen brings it around to Kako. Kako back to Mannanen. Oliver Kaski back to Kako. Joka Harju back to Kako, got tied up in the corner by Lee. At the line, held by Kaski. 20 seconds to go in the power play for Finland. Kaski slaps that across to Mannanen. The centering pass is broken up, and Phillips sends it out. Final seconds now of the power play. Kaski drops it off for Tervainen. Tervainen winds his way. The Shield steps back on the ice. 2 shots for the Finns in that power play. Lindbom shoots, that was blocked. And Shields picks up the loose puck. Up for Perlini to Lake. Now Perlini tries to dig it free as Tervainen rings that around. Kiviranta slips it across the line, shoots, Bounds makes the stop and hangs on.
Nothing shots here already in the second period. It's much the same story, but there's never a question, as there might be with some other teams, of whether the Brits give what they have. They just run out of gas. They start fine, and you're chasing and blocking shots. Eventually you just get worked physically and you don't have the puck enough that you can take a breather.
Could you see them beating France on Monday to stay alive?
Yes, because you're going to hope for a goaltending performance like you're getting here. The pace of the game will be something you can handle a lot more than some of the better teams in the tournament. And the third factor is that you will generate more chances than you will against a team that just doesn't give you anything like the Finns.
One big advantage for the Brits in that game on Monday, they don't play on Sunday. France plays the night game on Sunday night into the afternoon game on Monday.
So France will have to think about their goaltender. They'll have to think about the way they use their players.
Down shoots, that was blocked. He drops it back to O'Connor with a drive. That was kicked out by Ilkanora. At the point, Billingsley a drive, that goes wide.
Luostarinen is banged up here. He's going to have to try and get off the ice. He's on the limp here for the Finns.
Hakanpää comes in, that's knocked down. And moved out by Farmer. Down gets to it. Farmer down, tied up, and Hakanpää feeds it back. Savanainen. By the way, the Finn roster is full, so they can't add any injury replacements.
The U.S. added Luke Cunnin today. He just finished playing in Iowa, the American League after.
Ultima in, shoots, scores! Over the shoulder of Bounds, and it's 2-0.
What a shot. Ultima's first point of the tournament, or second point, as you see, that's his first goal. A puck battle, one down low, and then Ultima's going to have enough room to get to the middle. It's one of the few shots that Great Britain doesn't block, and it beats Bounds right up in the corner. Davies tries to block it, but Ultima changes his angle and his position, and another good wrist shot, this one under the bar. And it's 2-0.
Ultima plays for Karpat Oulu in the Finnish League back in Finland after spending a couple years in the KHL. Playing in his 5th World Championship for the Finns. That play's called offside at the British line. So 2 quick strikes here for Great Britain, or for Finland rather, against Great Britain to make it a 2-0 lead here in the second.
Savanainen and Tervainen win the puck battle, and here's the shot as he's looking around Antila, but it beats him clean up over the glove.
Looking around Antila is not an easy task. He's 6'8", 230 pounds.
And then you add the defenseman who's standing there too, and becomes a lot.
Kaski for Antila, back for Kaski, streaking in, trying to play that across. It goes off a skate. And Lakowitz gets straightened up there by Tervainen. Mikkola jumps it across the line. Mikkola trying to drop that back for Antila, who reaches out and picks that up. Antila. Poke check there by Bethridge, and it's back down to the Finnish zone. 6 gone here in the second period. Raila moves in. In comes Raila. Around David Phillips, back at the point. That shot knocked away by Bounds. Up and out of play. You're watching the 2019 World Hockey Championship. 2-0 the score here in Košice for Finland over Great Britain. It's also 2-0 in Bratislava for the Czechs over Italy. Radko Gudas scored from center ice on Marco Di Filippo Roya, the Italian goaltender. Seen 2 of those in this tournament. On this side, Olivier Damelka scored from center ice on Denmark. And there is Philippe Bozon, the French head coach. So it looks more and more, Ray, as though that game on Monday is going to decide it. France versus Great Britain. The loser will go down to Division 1A for next year.
Try and scratch a little more information, what you can do for your team. And you always talk about the different tournaments going on in the one tournament, and certainly it looks like that's the second part of the tournament.
Puck was played with a high stick. It is just so important for programs. You know, the British coaches, Peter Russell has talked to us about how important this tournament is for Great Britain, regardless of the result, the profile, the fact they're in the top division against Canada, the United States, Finland, the hockey powerhouses playing against them. These players, the veteran ones, will retire in a couple of years, then they'll wind up coaching as Louis Dorenin is going to the Finnish dressing room.
He was hit by a shot in his last shift. Here he is off the draw, and oh no, it's not. It's the collision in front. That's, I'm not going to speculate, but that's, you get jolted backwards, your knees straighten up, and that becomes where the issue is.
He's going to walk down the stairs to get to the
not the most convenient locker room there.
Now Farmer across the line, the play is offside. But just to finish the thought, you know, for Great Britain to be here is a huge triumph. For France to be relegated would be a really tough blow to their program.
We've talked about then you got to grind your way back. There's no guarantee you're going to get back the next year. Players start to get older. You have to replace them from somewhere because you don't have a whole bunch of players playing professionally. And it would be like anywhere else. If the kids don't see a pathway to something super exciting, they're going to play another sport. And that's what being in the World Championships can mean to some of these countries.
Kakko winds his way in. Capo Kakko does another circuit that gets knocked off the puck by Dowd. Dowd comes back the other way. Dowd in, shoots off a leg and wide. It bounces right back in front as Hakanpää cleans that up. Pessinen works in. And now Lee back to pick it up. Pessinen takes that away. Flips it across to Kakko. Leaves it there for Ultima. And now Lee has it back. Dowd swings that back. Dowd plays for Sheffield in the Elite Ice Hockey League in Britain. Used to be the British Premier League. Ultima. Pass goes ahead to Savanainen, drops it back. Tervainen feeds it back to Savanainen. Good stop in tight by Bounds.
That's a really nice play. Quick puck movement and a good stop by Bounds.
In comes Davies now. He peels back. Throws it there for Kirk. Now Ferraro back with it. For Phillips, that pass draws O'Connor out of the zone. Long pass at center ice, knocked down by Lehtinen. Chopped ahead by Ferrara. And now Davies has it back. In comes Davies across the line. He's poke checked there by Mikkola. And Kiviranta brings it back for Finland. Kiviranta walks in and shoots. It's off the leg. Bounds will hang on to that.
Savanainen can't get the puck to go here. It's about the third really good chance as he and Tervainen play a little give and go game, and this hits Bounds right up next to the mask as Savanainen's trying to go under the bar. He doesn't have a goal in this tournament. Got just a couple of assists, but I always like the way he plays. He's really an effective player for them.
Mentioned he plays for Kunlun in the KHL, the team that plays out of Beijing in China. So you got the easternmost teams in Bratislava and Helsinki. Beijing is not the furthest out from them, as that long shot, and a good one, is stopped by Okanora. Khabarovsk and Vladivostok are further away.
Bit of a broken play here, and Betteridge is going to end up with the puck dead center, and a pretty good shot. It almost goes right past Okanura. He makes the stop. He's got to fight it a little bit, but he made the save.
Chance for Betteridge there, who grew up in Nottingham, England, plays for the Nottingham Panthers. One of his nicknames, the Sheriff.
As he should be.
Ryla, a centering pass. Just missed Oyamaki. Mannanen feeds that back to Kaski. Mikkola. Ryla tried to kick that back in front. Now back at the point, the pass gets away from Mikkola. This is where losing a forward's tough for a team like Finland that goes 12 forwards, 8D. North American teams tend to go 13 and 7 with their allotment. That pass stolen. Perlini flipped that wide.
Now you're going to have to move some people around. You don't want anybody to get too much extra ice time, but you'll still try to play four lines as most as you can. You might jam a defenseman up a little bit.
Centering pass for Tervainen was knocked away. As O'Connor got a stick on that down through that rink wide, but it's knocked down by Jokiharju. Jokiharju to Kakko. In comes Kakko. Kakko with the shot, and Bounds makes the stop. 9:33 to go here in the period. 2-0 Finland leads. Shots are 22-6 in favor of Finland. Ben Bounds has faced 186 shots in this tournament, the most of any goaltender. And they'll hope that Bounds on Monday can summon the kind of goaltending he had in Division 1A last year.
Got to think that they'll give him the day off against Slovakia and let Jackson Whistle play. And
only 2-0 here, though, and Davies with a tip. And a good stop made there by Okanora.
Gord, we've touched on it a couple of times about the Finns, as Davies, who scored in the last game, has a dangerous tip here, is that the Finns have played exceptionally well. They don't give up much, but they're not going to run away from many games. You know, they beat Canada 3-1, Slovakia 4-2, they lose to the US in overtime 3-2, and they beat Denmark 3-1. They're not all of a sudden going to get 11 goals in a game to stretch it out. So there's a lot of close games score-wise that they might be in control of, but you just don't get to take your foot off the gas very much.
Yeah, the 4-2 against Slovakia, those 6 goals, the most scored total in a Finland game so far in this tournament. Ilomäki drops it up to Hakanpää, shoots, that goes wide. Back at the point is Koivisto. Koivisto to Hakanpää. Winds and fires, and Bounds got a piece of that. Here's Lake back with it. Ben Lake in across the line for Britain. Looking for Shields in front. Lake has to retreat. Flips that back to O'Connor. Koivisto wins that race to the puck from Shields, and Savanainen chips it ahead. Riihimäki. O'Connor lost the puck for a moment to Antila. And now Farmer has it back. Farmer chips that free, winds to center ice and loops it down to the finish zone. Hammond banks it back around for Dowd. And now Mannanen. And across the line. Mannanen works in, holds and shoots. Bounds makes the stop on that. Rebound in front for Lettinen, and he flipped that wide. Antila has Dowd bounce off him as he tried to work it free. And now Farmer trying to chip it out. Waiting for it is Mannanen. Sakari Mannanen. Back for Otama. Otama for Lettinen in, shoots, that deflected wide. Lee back on it as Finland applies the pressure again. And the puck moved by Lettinen back down to the finish zone. Britton makes a change here as Lettinen winds it ahead. That pass misfired. Lee goes back, icing called against the Finns.
Seen this a couple times in the tournament where the game seems way out of reach, and because it doesn't appear like there's any pressure, but you're only down 2, and heck, you win a face-off, shoot one from the point, tip it in, and you've got a different game. It's Peter Russell's trying to make sure they get aligned correctly for the face-off. Doesn't look like everybody's picking up what he's putting down.
Petridge's shot was blocked, and Phillips goes back to Earhart. As for Davies, intercepted by Rajala. Now Davies swings that back to David Phillips. And that's an icing call against the British with 6:48 to go.
Dallas Earhart from Calgary, Alberta. His brother Travis played 3 years in the Detroit Red Wings organization and played 209 games in the Western Hockey League, and he's in his 3rd year in Manchester. Guys seem to like it when they go play. They seem to have fun, and
it's a full-time living now. Players are paid full-time wages. Real disparity in payrolls in the league, though. Big teams like Belfast and Cardiff and Wales have the big budgets. Belfast won the league this year. Cardiff won the playoffs. It's a short tournament, almost like the Frozen Four. The league win is considered the championship in Britain. Now Pessinen with it. Should say the UK because Belfast is in Northern Ireland, or the UK, not Great Britain. I knew you'd correct me on that, so.
I know you'll get to it. That's right up your ballpark.
Lindboom looks ahead, trying to find Mannanen. That's poked away, and Perlini has it back. It's fascinating, though, that Great Britain competes at the Olympics, and here is Britain. As Pessinen winds in, feeds it across, and a quick shot flipped high there by Kusula. But in soccer, rugby, cricket, a lot of other sports, it's England, Scotland, Wales, all competing independently of each other. Tervainen tries to throw that back in front. And Shields backhands that to center ice. Savanainen works in, the play's offside at the British line. You're watching the 2019 World Hockey Championship. able to score twice here in the second period to grab a 2-0 lead. In Bratislava, the Czech Republic, a 5-0 lead on Italy in the second. Visto, a long shot, bounce, save, rebound, score! Joel Kiviranta makes it 3-0 Finland.
Kiviranta's first of the tournament. He's been in and out of the lineup. He'll get a little more ice time. As the Finns down to 11 forwards. After the injury to Losterainen, another puck battle strong on the boards. Tervainen wins the puck battle. It goes back to the point, and Kiviranta comes from the corner. And when the rebound's there, he's in front of Lee, and he's able to chip it past Ben Bounds.
Ottama flips out ahead for, Mackey. The puck wound up in the Finnish bench. Kiviranta played in a couple of under 18 tournaments for the Finns. He's new to the senior national team, his first time at the World Championship.
Comfortably in control now with 3-0.
Shots 25-7. Raila flips it back across, knocked away by Phillips. Now Raila has it knocked down by Phillips. Blackwood sends that down. There's Phillips on it now. And Jonathan Phillips brings that around. You're down 3 against the Finnish team that gives up not much.
Not more than 3 in a game in this tournament. And that was in overtime when Dylan Larkin scored in the U.S.'s 3-2 win.
Finns are still hot about that. They felt there should have been a penalty against Clayton Keller for tripping right before the goal was scored. That's an long lead pass for Kakko. Kakko works in. Heels back behind the goal. Now Pessinen back with it. Kaski for Pessinen, shoots, bounds, swatted that away. Now it bounces back to center ice. Mikkola fires that around. Earhart waiting for it. Plays it back behind the goal for Davies. Mosey steps out. Moves out ahead to Kirk, and Liam Kirk sends it in. Savanainen winds it across the line, drops it off for Tervainen. He works in, drops it back. Savanainen shoots, a great pad stop made there by Bounds.
I'm going to go on a limb, Gordon, say Savanainen's never going to score again. That's about 6 scoring chances today. He cannot find a way to get the puck into the net. And I mean never, ever. He might not get one in practice.
Time to throw that stick out.
I would be using somebody else's by now. I mean, seriously, he's getting grade A chances too.
Jokiharju. You can laugh now. I remember when that was you.
Oh, way funnier up here. When you're down there, it is not. It's also not funny for the guy that's on your line because you're barking in his ear about how the puck won't go in.
Iihamäki drops it back to Lindbom, shoots, and that hit Bounds again and went wide. That puck bounces high in the air. Iihamäki has it knocked away. When I you were one of my favorite players to talk to before games, but I would always check the stats first to make sure he had scored recently, because if you hadn't, I would avoid you. Lindbom centers it, Bounds, knocked that away.
If I would have known it was that easy, I would have gone into more slumps. Here is Veli-Matti Savanainen and the night he's had. Right in front. That's a second chance on that play. He flings it wide. This is the Ottama goal. Here's another chance, and he has Bounds from about 10 feet, but not finished yet. He's right in the same spot again. This time he goes low blocker. Oh, he's way more composed than I was.
Oh, yeah.
The other thing is you look at it on the board, on the big board, and it never gets better, right? The guy still makes the save.
Hammond pokes out ahead for Dowd. Minute 45 to go here in the period.
Savanainen will play in Jokerit next year. He's been in the KHL 3 different times, and after playing in Kunlun next year, he's signed to go back to Finland.
Picked up by Farmer, but Antila stole that back. Ivaranta has it stolen by Farmer. Farmer peels back. Koivisto for Hakanpää. Oyamaki trying to center it, gets it back and shoots. Bounce has a look back, but he's got it.
We almost overcommitted as the first shot blocked, and Oyamaki's going to get to the second one, and he gets plenty on it. The first shot hits the foot of David Phillips, and you see Bounds starting to move. The puck comes right back to Oyamaki. Whoops, I got to get back there, and if that puck is a couple inches lower, it's through the 5-hole, but as it is for Ben Bounds, another stop.
(28-7), the shots in favor of the Finns. Final minute now, the second period. Earhart goes back for it. The big bounce back for Great Britain after that loss to Denmark, 9-0, to play that 6-3 game against the United States. They're only down 3-0 here. And Peter Russell talked to his group before the tournament, enjoy being here, but when we go home, make sure you've done all you can.
Right, he said, we're not here to be an embarrassment, we're here to play. Wants the effort to be there, and
that shot from...
You're just looking at one of the better teams on this side of the draw here in the Finns.
Centering pass for Pessanen, can't get a shot away, picked up by Earhart. And the Finns score 3 in the second period and have a 3-0 lead after 40 minutes here at the 2019 World Hockey Championship. Been a quiet night so far for Capo Kakko of Finland, who came in with 6 goals in 4 games. Also been a quiet night for goaltender Jussi Olkinuora, who has faced just 7 shots total. Ben Bounds has been busy again. Ray, you mentioned Great Britain has Slovakia on Saturday, then a day off before that game against France on Monday. See, wonderful to see Jackson whistle against Slovakia.
Now,
give Bounds a break, and then
Bounds plays all the time. Played 515 games in the last 10 years, so clearly he likes to play, but now you got a chance to get him a couple of days off and rest a little bit.
Right.
As he's just got, it's not just playing the games, it's the volume of shots that he's facing and the amount of times you're in your crouch because the puck is in your zone. Just exhausting for the goaltender.
Kiviranta. And then knocked away. Back at the point is Koivisto. That shot deflected down. Bounds kicked it away. And then swatted away the rebound. Ben Lake has Antila all over him. You know, Antila rattled that high off the glass. Raiola plays it back around. Lehtinen plays it back in deep for Ilomäki. Ilomäki back for Otama. Walks it and shoots. That was blocked. And Raiola has it back. Raiola. Back to Otama. Lehtinen fires. Got through to Bounds. He kicked that away. They got knocked over. Otama has it back. To the point to Lehtinen. Across for Oyemaki. Down for Raiola. Otama. Winds in from the point. Drops it back to Ilomäki. He shoots. Bounds punches that away. Here's what you're talking about, Ray. Bounds been in his stance here for almost 2 minutes.
And the cumulative effect of this whole tournament and in basically a winner-take-all game on their last game of the tournament against France is probably be nice to get off your feet a little bit.
Lehtinen spins around Lake, drops it back to Kakko. In comes Kakko, shoots, and Bounds makes the stop.
It's a minute 40. The puck's been in the British zone, and Capo Kakko, who's had a couple of chances, not so much as you mentioned earlier, Gord, tries to go up top on the right shoulder of Bounds, and Capo's just been a terrific player to watch in this tournament. He's 22 goals in the regular season in the Finnish Elite League. He's got the 6, as we've mentioned many times, in the 4 games of this tournament. I think the varied way that he scores is what's most impressive.
Got a chance to become the 7th player in history to win the under-18s, the World Junior, and the World Championship gold medal in a career. And the first outside of Russia and Canada. Finns have had great success at the under-18s. They won gold in 2016 and 2018. Of course, they won 3 of the last 6 World Junior Championships, including this year. And he looks to be the next in this amazing line of terrific scorers coming out of Finland. Farmer works and holds. Shoots. That was knocked away by Mikkola. Mikkola moves it out now. Chips that into the British zone. It's crunched there by David Phillips. In comes Kaski. Shoots, Bounds the save. And now Pessinen has it deflect down to Kakko. Now drops it back. O'Connor trying to ring that around. And Phillips gets to it. At the line, held by Kaski. Feeds for Kakko. Capo Kakko spins away from O'Connor and drops it back to Kaski. Long wrist shot knocked down and dribbles down to Bounds. He'll hang on to that.
Remember in that first period, Gord, when the shots were 12-2 and the puck never left the Great Britain end of the ice. Mentioned it was a little bit like a boxer softening up his opponent as they got into the middle rounds. You slow them down and gradually you see Great Britain just not able to push back. Even when they defend, it's just tighter and tighter to their goal because that's really all the energy they have left.
Savanainen down to Tervainen. Savanainen, you mentioned, has had a bucket full of chances here tonight, and nothing has gone for him. And now Jokiharju is shot, and a tripping call coming. And Great Britain will get its first power play as Juhani Tervainen goes off.
That's not a very good penalty for Tervainen to take. It's an easy one to detect for the official. And Great Britain, who does not have a power play goal, they've just got 6 power plays to work with in 4 games, and a lot of that is you just don't have the puck enough to draw the penalty.
Gave up a shorthanded goal to Denmark as well. Now fired back down the ice. O'Connor for Farmer. Picked up by Hammond. Mike Hammond leads Great Britain with a couple of goals in the tournament, but that's knocked down and played down the ice by Hakanpää. O'Connor to Farmer to Perlini. Brett Perlini snaps that pass in, chopped down by Oyemaki. Nikola with it. And it's back down the ice again. The Finns turn the defensive zone into mud. Antila shields off Mosey, and Mikkola plays it back in. Mosey had that broken up by Antila, centers it. Now back in the line is Mikkola. He shoots and bounds to stop on that. He'll have to hang on. And the Brits are a long way from where they want to be.
In that first minute, they were outworked, and whether you got the extra man or not, you've got to at least match the effort of the penalty killers. And there is a pride to the way the Finns play. It's not an easy way to play, but it's the way that they play. If you don't match them effort-wise, you're just not going to get anything done.
Per capita, the greatest hockey nation in the world.
5.5 million people. It's remarkable the success that they've had.
Lake drops it back to Kirk. Kirk plays it down to Dowd. And back down the ice it goes. Does the power play doctor have any suggestions for Great Britain?
Yeah, make shorter passes and get your people close together. Every time they move the puck, it's like a 30-foot pass. So the guy that gets it in there all by himself.
Or a 1-on-4 rush that gets stuffed. And Otama, off Lake, and gets it out. Final seconds of the power play. Billingsley up for Lake. Realize players back on the ice for the Finns, and here they come. Lehtinen along with Tervainen. Lehtinen drops it back to Tervainen. Kaski with it. Looks down to Kakko. Kakko gets loose. Dances around behind the goal. Oh, flips it back over the top. That was knocked down by Dowd with a high stick. Oh, cheeky by Kakko.
Not sure he would try this in a different type of game, but he's behind the net and he's got to try or think of a way to get the puck out front. He'll just try and flip it. Little delicate little touch over the top of the net as he's looking for a teammate right in front. He tried things that other people that we just would have never tried. Like you see kids now in college making the lacrosse play.
Pick the puck off the ice and then,
just wouldn't have done. Well, first of all, we probably couldn't have done it. Secondly,
would have started a riot.
Well, you wouldn't have got far with it. There might have been a dead end at the far post, but the skill that the players, these kids have now, 18, 19, 20-year-olds, even younger, is really remarkable.
And it shoots. That was blocked by Richardson. He's a puck magnet, that guy.
How many today would he have? Got to be 6 or 7 for him.
13:59 to go here in the third. Finland up 3-0. First week of the World Hockey Championship coming to a close. This portion will wrap up on Tuesday. And it's on to the quarterfinals as Lindboom shoots, Bounds makes the stop. Top 4 teams in each group play the quarterfinals in a crossover format, 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3. And a slight amendment to the format this year. After the quarterfinals, the teams will be ranked 1 to 8 based on their finish in the group portion of the draw. And then the highest seed will play the lower seed in the semis. Finns got dumped in the quarters last year by Switzerland. And then Canada lost to them in the semis. Henri Jokiharju. What a year for him. Won a gold medal at the World Junior. Played in the National Hockey League for Chicago. Up ahead for Ilamaki. That's knocked down for Raila. Well, Chicago's drafted a basket full of defensemen in the first couple of rounds the last few years. Now a centering pass knocked away from Ilamaki, and it goes loose to Raila.
Be interesting to see what they do with the third pick this year. Moved way up in the draft.
In comes Mosey, 3-on-2 now for Britain. Mosey drops, Farmer in, Mosey with a chance, loose in front, and it rolled off his stick. Now Hakanpää with a chance. I'm going to say that's the closest Hakanpää's been to a breakaway in his career. That's not his thing.
Oh, it's like he hit a speed bump there too. Saw that red line. So, whoa.
Dowd spins back in the corner with it. Shovels it back in the corner for Hammond. Try to throw that back in front. Billingsley drops it back, and Dowd stepped into Hakanpää, knocked him down. Hammond lost the puck to Lehtinen.
Sorry, Gord, as we look forward in the tournament, the Finns didn't get Eetu Luostarinen back in the lineup. He just played 4 minutes tonight, left in the second period with a lower body injury, and they just have 11 forwards.
Kiviranta's pass deflects into the sideboards, knocked ahead by Ottama.
For a team that uses a long bench like the Finns do, it's an unsettling loss.
Now Antila works in, drops that back for Mannon, and that pass misfired. And Davies has it back. In comes Davies across the line, has room and shoots, that deflected wide. Picked up by Ferrara. That shot from Lee goes wide. Bouncing puck in front, the save made by Okinora.
The Finns do have a couple of forwards on the roster. It's not like they're going to have to play without 12 forwards, but
Tervainen drops, Kakko in, shoots, it bounces off a leg.
But he's a valuable player for them.
Kasky tries to knock that down. Picked off and brought up by Phillips. Jonathan Phillips, the British captain, throws it down to Lakowitz. Now bumped out by Mikkola. Earhart. Banks it back around to David Phillips. there for Lake. It dropped right down to him, but picked off by Savanainen. Jokiharju in for Savanainen. Savanainen in, shoots, bounds, knocked that away. Back at the point, Lindblom shoots, bounds, the save on that. And Jokiharju has it knocked away by Shields. Billingsley back with it. Those are British fans, by the way, drumming and singing the entire time as Perlini moves in. In comes Kusala, shoots from a sharp angle, and Mosey got a stick on that. Czechs still lead Italy 5-0 in Bratislava. Mannanen drops it back. Hakanpää winds and shoots. Bounds, juggled the rebound, then swatted that away to Dowd. And Dowd brings it back out. Drops it off to Hammond. Shoots. That was blocked. And now Dowd has it back. Dowd gets free at the side of the goal. Walks it and shoots. Okanawa makes a stop. And Rajala has it back. And back to pick it up is Lee. O'Connor's pass picked off at center ice by Lehtinen. And Tervainen works in. Tervainen walks it and fires. Bounds, makes the stop. Tervainen drops it back. Ultimate shot deflected down. It was Joey Lewis who knocked that down. Lewis playing his first game for Great Britain tonight in this World Championship. And Lehtinen. As it bounced by him, Davies goes after it. 8 to go here in the period. Picked off by Kirk, bouncing puck at the side of the goal. And just out of the reach of Lewis. Kivaranta's pass in behind Antila. Not even he could reach that. And Mosey back with it. If you've missed Antila with a pass, you've missed by a lot.
It's quite a reach.
Pessinen spins off the boards. Pessinen drops it back to Kaski. Niilamäki down to Pessinen. At the point is Mikkola. Across to Kaski. Long shot kicked out by Bounds and lifted out by Jonathan Phillips. Mikkola drops it off to Pessinen. Banks it around for Kakko. Kakko. Spins it back to Pessinen. Pessinen to Kakko. Works back in front. He got poke checked there by Billingsley. Over 5 minutes without a whistle now. And it's banked back down to the finish zone. And Mikkola drops it off to Jokiharju. Lead pass to Lindblom, and the play is offside at the British line. 3-0, Finland leads. 3-0 Finland leads Great Britain. Finns trying to improve their record to 4-0-1 in this World Championship. Savanainen works in. Been snake bit so far tonight. Savanainen tries to poke it across. That's knocked away. Savanainen. Back for Lindboom. That long shot drifts high and wide. Jokiharju plays it back in for Savanainen. Loose along the boards. The centering pass for Savanainen broken up. And a penalty coming now to the Finns. It's going to be Tervainen who goes off again. And so Great Britain with a power play with 5:50 to go. Johanni Tervainen off for the second time in this period, so Great Britain back on the power play. The first was not very solid. No shots. Like the Finns had a couple of chances. And again, the Great Britain power play has been outscored 1-0 in the tournament. Perlini down to Farmer, walks off the boards, in, shoots! And a save made by Okanora. Once again, the Finns clear it down. Bounds up ahead for Hammond. In comes Hammond with it. Spins it back down in the corner. Hammond back to O'Connor. Rink wide to Shield. To O'Connor. Perlini. Down to Farmer. Now Brits gets set up as Phillips moves in. Feeds it down to Farmer. Banks it back to O'Connor. Hammond. To O'Connor, shoots, and a glove save by Okanora. That's better.
High heat from Ben O'Connor that Okanora is able to grab. They had a couple of good chances earlier. Farmer had one off the left side. The shot's going wide, but they moved the puck well. They had a little more conviction to what they were doing, and some zone time leads to a couple of shots.
Face-off control by the Finns, and Ultima fires it down the ice. .40 seconds to go in the power play. O'Connor drops it back for Kirk. And away comes Liam Kirk across the line. And moved in by Mosey, but the play is offside. Dominic Shimon has scored. Czech Republic with a 6-0 lead on Italy in the late stages of the third period. See Adam Keefe on the left talking to Peter Russell, the head coach for Great Britain. Keefe, the brother of Sheldon Keefe, who's the head coach of the Toronto Marlies in the American League. They'll take on the Charlotte Checkers in the conference final of the American Hockey League playoffs. Lake moves in for Kirk. Liam Kirk feeds that back at the point for Mosey to O'Connor. Back down to Dowd. 20 seconds to go in the power play. Dowd walks in and fires. That was off the leg of his teammate Lake, and now Lake back with it. Feeds it back to Kirk. Liam Kirk walks in and shoots. He whistled that wide. And the puck's kicked off the glass and out. And the face-off will come outside.
There is Liam Kirk, the 19-year-old. You mentioned he played his First year in North America this year in Peterborough, and had 26 goals, a 7th round pick of Arizona a year ago. Pretty feisty guy, good skater.
One of the first British players to come over was Tony Hand. In the 1980s, a Scottish star. We've got a tryout with the Edmonton Oilers. Decided to go home instead of take a job in the American League. And is now in the IIHF Hall of Fame.
You know, Gord, you talk about where some of the games take people. And when I was looking at Tony Hand's Hall of Fame video, some of the arenas they were playing in, it looked like they had one light bulb in them, and he was dangling around and could handle the puck, and he was always on the score sheet. Trying to find a way to, trying to find a way to break a shutout is what this is about.
10 seconds to go on the power play, 4 to go in the period. Great Britain plays Slovakia Saturday, then wraps up against France on Monday. It'll almost certainly be that game, the loser of that game, that gets relegated. France has Finland on Sunday, so the French win that game, they would be out of reach, but that would appear a stretch at this point. Well, the French have taken down some top teams over the years.
A lot of it with Cristobal Ue in goal. Yeah. Usually a 40-plus save performance. And
Dowd picks that free. And the power play's over. No shots for Great Britain on that power play officially. And now a chance, and the pass for Tervainen put him offside.
Tervainen's got a couple assists, a couple of penalties today. One of the more active of the Finns. In a game that, although it looks tight at 3-0, really has never been in doubt. Just 10 shots against. The Finns have had 44 on Ben Bounds. They're going to take Bounds out of the net here with 3 minutes and 40 seconds left.
Capo Caco has 2 empty net goals in the tournament so far. He's not up there right now. Face off one. Mikkola can't clear it out. Hammond plays it back in behind the goal. Here's Kasky with it. Dowd stepped into him. Scooped up by O'Connor. O'Connor up ahead to Farmer. 6 skaters on 5, and in comes Dowd. That went just wide. Dowd back with it to Farmer. Now Farmer dances out, back for Dowd to O'Connor. Back across to Hammond, along wrist shot that's kicked out by Okanora. Once again, O'Connor keeps it alive for Farmer. A centering pass, and Perlini couldn't bat that out of the air. Hammond plays it back in. A little behind the pack pass by Farmer got knocked down, and now flipped out by Tervainen, and that just missed. That'll be an icing call against the Finns. And Tervainen's arguing that was deflected, but the faceoff will be in the finish zone. And because it's icing, the Finns can't change. Kako was all set to come on.
Well, he's right. It should not have been icing.
Lake with it now. And now picked up by Mikkola. Up ahead to, and Kusela in, scores. Savanainen passed it there to Kusela. Gets him a goal, and it's 4-0 Finland.
Nice strong rush from Mikkola off the face-off win. He's going to get behind the net and just clean room out as he blows everybody out here. Watch him come up the middle of the ice, and now this is done. Kusela and  throw it back and forth, and Kusela has his first of of the tournament on a nice feed from Savanainen, who's got a couple assists tonight as well.
That's his first goal for Finland at any level. He's playing for Finland for the first time.
36 years old.
So he never played in the under-18s, the World Junior, or any World Championship for the Finns. That's really unusual. That pass misfired. And icing called against Great Britain.
A couple of decent chances for Great Britain as they pushed for the goal that could break the shutout. Then after an icing that shouldn't have been, Mikkola races it out and the Finns put it in the empty net.
Off the draw, Pessinen fires, Bounds makes the stop. Bouncing puck high in the air in the feet of Kakko, couldn't get a shot away. Now Pessinen spins off Lee. Back to Lehtinen, shoots, bounce, stop, and Manninen and Kakko were looking for the rebound.
Just a solid performance. I don't think anything unexpected here tonight, Gord, but the Finns just look the same all the time. Doesn't really matter in this tournament who the opposition has been. They've played the same way with the same style of game. And their strength, of course, is their goals against. Just 7 goals against now in 5 games to this point.
They lost 8-0 to the Czech Republic, by the way. Combined score of 38-0 in their 5 losses. Two words. Wow.
That's a lot.
Seconds to go here in the period.
So for you and I, the Italians will be but a rumor in this tournament.
Yeah, we'll not see them. The question is, will we see them next year in Switzerland? Oh, look out. High stick, clip Tervainen. And Davies will get called here.
Davies fishing around for the puck, and his stick is going to come up here to catch Tervainen, and probably not what you're looking for with 1:15 left. So the Finns will go back to the power play, their 4th one, and like most European teams, doesn't matter what the score is, they throw their #1 group out there. I don't like this. I know it's only 4-0, but you don't need to try to score.
And goal difference, Savanainen comes in, stopped by Bounds. There's a crease violation called against the Finns. Goal difference can theoretically be a tiebreaker, but it's way down the list. Goal difference primarily is used between tied teams. And obviously Great Britain's not going to be tied with Finland.
Well, they changed that a few years ago when there was just some
unholy beatings.
Yeah, crazy scenarios. It just
Pessinen back to Savanainen. Back around to Pessinen. Final minute now of the period. Back at the point is Lehtinen. Wrist shot goes wide up the other side for Ilomäki. Pessinen to Raila. Raila back for Lehtinen. Ilomäki, rink wide for Raila. Now Lehtinen long shot knocked down by Bounds and cleared down the ice by Jonathan Phillips. Lehtinen moves it out to Jokiharju. Jokiharju centers and score! Lehtinen. And it's 5-0 on the power play goal.
Lehtinen has a goal and an assist tonight. The power play goal here is going to be on the recipient or the receiving end of a beautiful feed across the ice here. He started the play and then he skated back into it. Nice play by Jokiharju all the way across, and this will be about it at 5-0.
So time winds down here in the third period, and Finland wins it by a score of 5-0 to improve its record to 4-0-1. Great Britain drops to 0-5 after a 5-0 win by Finland.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of Finland. Dámy a páni, postavte sa prosím, zaznie štátna hymna Fínska.
Robert, the work ethic was there once again for Great Britain, but was it simply a matter of running into another powerhouse team in Finland?
Yeah, they're a fantastic team. I thought we had a really solid first period, and the result showed that after the first we were right there, but you give teams like this, of this caliber, those type of chances in the second, and it starts to get away from us a little bit, and then you're chasing a game, and that's when mistakes come, when you're chasing that game, and then obviously put a couple more in.
You guys continue to try to put up shots, but Finland wasn't giving you the middle of the ice. For future games, how do you find ways to generate offense?
Just be more direct with the puck. There's a couple of times we're curling up with it where we've just got to punch it through, get it to net, even if it's just a horrible shot, just get it there and get some rebounds, but all credit to them, they were solid in the middle.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
A 5-0 win for Finland over Great Britain, but this game really seemed to be wide open in the second. Where did you feel like the ice was starting to tilt in your favor?
Well, I think it was a good game, whole 60 minutes, and we had a good chances, and we had a great opponent also who was playing a good hockey. So, but I think we get more confidence after the first one, and then we keep going.
This was like the Oprah game. Everyone was going home with points this evening. You yourself register a goal. What do you remember about the play?
Yeah, it's always nice to score goals, and it's fun. But we just looking forward and keep working here.
You have played 42 games for Finland. That is more than any other player on the roster. What has your past experience taught you about what it takes to win a championship?
Well, first of all, this is a great experience, and you should enjoy every day here and have fun and do your best. And I think that's the most important. Like, even it's a great atmosphere and everything. Many people are looking at your games. You should just have fun and don't stress about it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hyvä.